everyone, and thank you for joining us today with another episode of In the Swamp with OGRE. Today we have Ruth Petrella, property manager here in Las Vegas. How are you doing, Ruthie?
I'm great, honey. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How's the family doing?
Everybody's good, thank God. Everyone's healthy and working and staying out of trouble.
Staying out of trouble. So,
Yeah,
so you do property management here.
I do.
You manage apartments, residential homes, even some RVs.
Yes.
So how's the market? How are you seeing the market right now in property management? Are
I I'd say the rentals are still going very quickly. Things are well, as soon as they come on the market, they get snapped up mostly within about a week or so. Um, we've had pretty good luck collecting rents. I'd say probably 95% of our tenants have paid. And the ones that haven't have been really like upfront and honest and, calling and saying that they're going to do the best they can to get caught up as soon as possible. So most people have a good conscience about that.
Okay. And one of the things that I know, just working with you and sending my properties to you to get managed from our clients, I hear that like property management is tough. I mean, what you guys have to do, and you always have to balance what's the right thing to do with all the stuff going on in the world, and now like even getting people to fix stuff and stuff. So how are you getting through these obstacles now with tenants and having problems and trying to get people out there?
Honestly, I am very, very lucky because, and I just think it's because I've been at it for so long. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I've been doing this for over 20 years here in Las Vegas, and I'm very, very fortunate to have a core group of service people. I've got probably 3 or 4 go-to handymen. I've got a great relationship with a plumber and an electrician, and I just try to keep the lines of communication open. I think that's kind of my, I don't know if it's a trick or a secret or whatever, but I'm very attentive. I'm very open in my communication with people. I believe in getting stuff done right away. So many tenants, like we just took over that building on Sunrise, right? And
Right.
I mean, that's a 10-unit complex, and it was like the last owners didn't do anything. It's like, oh my gosh, we get it, and everything's breaking. And they're like, Ruth, I can't believe you're so, you get things done so quickly. I used to have to wait weeks to get anything done, and we really appreciate you. And like I said, I try to keep the lines of communication open so that the tenants aren't afraid to call. Because when things don't get taken care of in a timely basis, it turns into a bigger event in the future.
Right.
And and with my owners too. I mean, I keep everybody abreast of what's going on. I try to keep the lines of communication open between
Right.
people.
And I know that you do try to fight to make sure that the owners get taken care of and they're not billed extra heavy for stuff. You try to make sure.
Right.
I know
Right.
that.
Right. Exactly.
And I know that you take pride in what you manage. You always want it to be in good condition.
Right. As if it were my own, and I want to work with owners who feel that way. I promise them, like, you guys, I will take care of your house as if it were my own. I'm not gonna advise you to do something I wouldn't do if it was my own house or my own property.
Right.
And I just feel like it's their investment, right? It's the owner's investment, and it's the tenant's home. So both people are important. Does it make sense a little bit?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you're concerned about the owner, yes, and the owner invests in a property to make money, and obviously they want it rented, but the owner to the renter, that's their home.
Right.
So
Right.
I totally get that, and it's got to be a difficult balance to keep
It's
everything
really
happy.
funny. I thought about something else. What we've gotten lately, because we've gotten a lot of multifamilies, right? And they're not necessarily in the best, they're not in the worst neighborhoods, but there are challenges, right? Just because of the area.
Right.
And like, remember on 11th Street, we took that over, and there were all kind of drug dealers and homeless people, and and setting up camp, and the next door neighbor was calling our owner all the time.
Right.
It's like we've totally cleaned that place up. We have like no more problems. So
Right.
I love that, like, we take it as a situation, we take a property and we kind of turn it, right? We turn it into a nice functioning area. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. And we've done that with a couple properties.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we have.
I've helped a couple people get into a couple multifamily and some RVs and then handed it off to you on the property management side because I
Right,
do that. I focus on what I'm good at, not
right,
everything.
exactly. Yeah, you
So
find some good deals, that's for sure.
that's it. I just look for the deals, get it out to people, and then you manage the properties and you do a great job with that. And I know that the owners, so not all the properties are owned by the same people. We have several different investors
Right.
we've been working with and handing them off, and you're doing the property management on them.
Yep.
And they've been in the kind of rough areas, and sometimes I've even told you who are you going to get to work with you because I don't want
Right.
you down there, or I don't want Regina down there in that neighborhood sometimes.
I know. I am so lucky. I've got the greatest people. I can't even tell you. I have the
But
greatest.
you manage to make it work, and then you also I know that you use different systems, but you even make it convenient so where you don't have to take cash, which is a safety issue.
Correct. Yes. All of our payments are, all of our rents come in online and all of our payments to our owners go out online. So typically I collect rents between the 1st and the 5th of every month. And then we pay our owners out. I do my very best to get the money in their bank account by the 10th.
And so, just a quick question. So, let's say in some of these, let's say older neighborhoods that we have to work through the challenges, and those people, a lot of those people love to pay cash, and
Right.
traditionally owners that was cash they pocketed, and
Right.
didn't say anything or would forget that it came in. So,
Right.
how do you help those people out without you have to physically go out there and pick up the rent?
Great question. Through our property management software, people can take cash to 7-Eleven with a slip. It's barcoded to their address, and they just can take the cash to 7-Eleven and, you know, buy themselves a big gulp and give them their cash for their rent at the register. Or else they can set up online payments directly through our property management software as well. And that's free. That's free to them. They can just do a bank to bank transfer. They could pay with a credit card or a debit card. There's a little extra cost for that the service company charges. We don't charge anything for that. I mean, it's on them. And yeah, and that was kind of challenging in the beginning because people were used to the landlord coming to the property and picking up the cash. And I'm like, sorry, I just don't do that. It's not, I just don't do that. It's not a good practice and it's not safe. And, so, and everybody's pretty much, they figured it out. It takes a minute.
Right.
And not that I've, not that I never, like they'd have to bring the money to me if they don't want to do that. But we really just try to discourage that as much as possible.
Well, it eliminates a lot of the I paid you or I gave
Right.
you the dollars or whatever because
Right.
you're actually taking it to a third party, paying to
Right.
a third party, and it just makes it easier for you.
Absolutely.
So in our world, I have a question because it's thought about this. So in our
Okay.
world, it's ideal that I help investors or anybody helps an investor get a property that's occupied and it goes to you and it's great for the next 8 years. But that's not reality in our world. We take over sometimes properties and people have to be evicted or people leave to go buy a house and do stuff. So what do you do to get places rented?
Well, we advertise. I mean, when they go in the MLS, obviously. I do recommend that owners get like professional pictures taken because everybody starts their search online. So when I guess let me think of how you're asking that. So when people move out, right?
Right.
Then I have a crew go in there. I have a crew go in there and clean it. It's got to be professionally clean. We make sure the carpet's clean. I have my handyman go through and do a systems check to make sure that there's no missing, light bulbs are all there and smoke detector batteries and everything's been taken out. Fill up if there's a water softener, we fill it up with salt, just to get everything so that when the tenant moves in, it's ready for them.
Right.
We do a lot of it. So like a lot of it behind the scenes stuff, so that they're ready for when the new tenant comes in.
That's what I wanted to know because renting it out, there's internet, there's different places. You just put it out there and it'll get out to people. But
Right.
it's a little behind the scenes that you go in and change the light bulbs and fill the salt and all that other stuff that
Right.
owners and even other real estate agents don't understand that it's not just, hey, I'm going to put it on the market and I'm trying to get you the highest possible rent, but
Right.
leave light bulbs out, or I'm gonna leave
No.
something not working, or cracked in the light sockets and stuff.
I would say that I've never really done a scientific study on this, but probably there are anywhere from 10 to 20 exchanges of communication between the time I take the application and process it and the people are actually in the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they have all kinds of questions. How do you pay your rent? It's just the normal questions, right? And then they move in and they're like, oh, the light's flickering, or oh, I can't get the garage door opener to work, or oh, this. Even when I send the guy out and he does a systems check, there's always something that they find afterwards. So there's just a lot of details. There's just a lot, and then you got to communicate stuff to the owner. So it's pretty time consuming in the upfront stuff, and then once they start paying their rent on time, then we're usually good. But there's a lot of work involved. You got to draw up the lease. They ask all the questions about the lease, and what's the mailbox number. Just all that little stuff. Just takes
Right.
time.
No, and I know that so it's like everything in life. If you put in the work up front,
Yep.
then afterwards makes it easier. It's still work, so you can either do it up front or do it throughout the full year.
Exactly.
And you like to do it up front and just make life easy for everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The owner knows he gets his money. You know that you have a tenant in there that's happy and there's no issues with the house. So I know that those things are very important to you.
Yeah.
And so, what areas do you cover?
All Las Vegas. I have properties all over the valley, northwest, southwest, lots downtown.
Yeah, I'm keeping you downtown.
Anywhere my little car will take me.
All right. And then how do you balance?
Some in Pahrump too. I got a trailer park in Pahrump.
Oh, do you really? Wow. So you have two trailer parks now. One there. Wow, that's great. So what do you? How do you do that? And then, because you have a lot of properties you manage and a lot of doors. To just use an industry lingo, it's
Yeah.
doors. So you have a bunch of those. How do you balance that and your real estate business and your personal? Because I know that you love spending time with your family, and your daughter, who's one of my favorite people in the world, Regina, has soccer, and she's always doing they're always doing competitive soccer everywhere. So how do you balance all of that?
I think I just have a lot of energy. I like to work. I just tend to the little stuff first, and I do my real estate stuff in the afternoon, or if there's something pressing in the morning about real estate, I do the property management stuff in the afternoon. Um, my brain is pretty much in gear 10, 12 hours a day. I like my phone goes to silent at 8 p.m. and it turns on at 9 a.m. So during those hours, I'm always here. So
Right. It's always real estate.
yeah, and you know what? It's kind of great now because I can do anything, even mostly anything with my iPhone. And it's always with me. So even if I'm on vacation, or even if I can be sitting on the beach in California and still getting stuff done. I've gotten really good at having my crew, right?
Right.
I can manage that place in Pahrump just straight from here, right? I've got
Right.
Miguel who lives out there who can show the properties. I got a handyman out there, so it's just a matter of coordinating everything, right? I don't have to physically do it, right?
Right. And then you have a unique addition to your team. Who just joined your team recently?
Oh, my other daughter? Yeah.
There you go.
My two girls, yeah.
So now it's you and your
It's a lot
two
of fun.
girls
It's
gonna
fun.
take over Las Vegas.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
How is it working with them?
It's good. It's we're always talking about real estate, so we know a lot of the same people, and I feel like because I've been at it for so long, it's kind of they have some clout. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
They got
it's like-
instant clout. They got into
Yeah.
the business, just shared your last name, and they're ready to go.
Yep. And they know a lot of people too, so it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Ruthie, I'm going to put your information under here so in case any realtor's looking for a great property manager, they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's the deal I have with my agents, right? So if you sell them a property and you hand them over to me to manage it, I will keep them for you. And then whenever they get ready to sell, you get them back. And I feel like I was taught that when you're managing a property, it should pretty much always be in saleable condition whenever they get it back.
Right.
So, you know, you want to maintain it, make sure it's in good condition throughout, you know, throughout the whole time, so that when you get it back to sell it, there shouldn't be too many problems.
And you're also really good about, which I think I need to bring this up because you and I work a lot together, and it's one of the greatest qualities is if one of my owners call you, one of my investors call you and say, "Hey Ruth, you know how's the market? What's this going?" You instantly call me or text me or message me, "Hey, so and so was talking about they're thinking about buying a house."
Right.
We had that with one of our boys. They were looking at a personal home in Summerlin, and you were, instead of just taking the sale, you were like, "Hey, he's looking for a home in Summerlin. Reach out to him."
Right. Exactly.
Not only the sale of that building, it's anything that they want to do real estate related. You make sure it goes back to the agent that actually gave you that referral.
Right. And I don't market my real estate business to my owners unless they're my people.
Right, right,
Right. So I'm not marketing my real estate business to your owners.
right. No,
You know, to them, I'm
appreciate
just a
that.
property manager. You know what I'm saying? But so that's I take that really seriously. I'm pretty loyal like that. I appreciate the referrals, and you know, that's how I show my appreciation. So
Well, we thank you. All right,
Thank
sweetheart, we will talk to you
All right.
later, and I will put our information here so anybody can get a hold of you.
fantastic. Have a good
Say
weekend.
hello.
Okay.
Say hello to everybody. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, hon.